Hi guys, welcome to our very first video. My name is Just and this is the 50,000 build. Or is it a 50,000 build? Let's check it out. So, in this build, a client or a friend of mine asked me to uh, make him a gaming PC. So, but before we start, I'll show you the specs that we used for this build. So, we have here a very popular Ryzen 5 3600, a B550 mATX from MSI, the MSI Mortar. Then we also have here an ASUS GeForce GTX 1660 Phoenix Edition. We have here a 500 gig Western Digital SSD NVMe, a 1 terabyte Seagate hard drive, and we also have 16 gig dual channel Avexir 3200 RGB memory. Then we have here powering it is a Cooler Master 550 watts gold rated PSU modular, and cooling it is a Cooler Master Hyper 212 with two dark, I think this is a deep cool 120mm fans and three Darkflash fans with a switch or a hub. Then the case is a Darkflash mATX case. So before we built this PC, I actually asked him what's his use case for this PC, because that's how I help other people create their PC. I asked them, what is your PC for? And then the next one is, how much is your budget? So when I asked him what is the use case for the PC, he mentioned that he wants a gaming PC that can also do some simple editing works. Why? Because his brother is going to also use the PC for, I think, work stuff. So I asked him, what games will you usually play? Because normally the PC building, sometimes if you want to future proof your PC, you'll also need to think of what are the types of games that you will be playing. Are you gunning for a 1440p resolution types of games, a 4K, or will you just stay at the 1080p range? So he mentioned that he normally plays the esports title games like Dota 2, CSGO, and a little bit of Valorant and the other games like Apex or PUBG. So, and then I asked him finally what was his budget. So, he handed me 40k or 50k budget range. But he mentioned that he's willing to stretch it to around 55k, but not 60k. And then I mentioned that, does this build need a monitor already? Because if we'll be adding monitor, that will also inflate the cost. So he mentioned that he still has his own monitor at the house. He's using a TV monitor, but is also planning to upgrade down the line to a gaming monitor, probably a 144 Hz 1080p monitor. So okay, I told him, all right, let's see. I'll try to quote your PC using online quotations from our local stores. So I handed him three types of build. But before we went to the local shops here in the Philippines, I told him that stocks are running low. So here comes the story. We went to Gilmore, one of the premier spots on buying PCs, and then apparently most of the stores there are out of stock. Also, we tried checking at least 6 shops or 4 to 5 shops before we landed to one of the shops there that has a Ryzen 5 3600 bundled with the B450 motherboard. We went there at around 3 days after the launch of B550, probably 3 or 4 days after the launch. So I expected that if there will be no more B450, or if it comes out of stock, we might opt to buy a B550. So unluckily, when we got to the shop, there was a very long line, and when it was our turn, the B450 was out of stock. Luckily, I saw through the window that there was a B550 motherboard, which was an MSI. So I asked in the counter, can we bundle that with the with the Ryzen 5 3600? And then they said yes. So right there, I tried to quote his new PC. But apparently, there was no 1660 Ti nor a 1660 Super. So our budget was way overboard to get the only remaining 2060 there, which was at around 20k. Because when I started budgeting it, if I will be going for a 2060, I am looking at a 16 to 17k range of 1660. Of a 2060. But apparently, the only 2060 that was there was at around 19900 or 19800. So it was actually out of the budget range that he mentioned, because when we got there, he only withdrew 50,000 pesos. So our build went from a 1660 Ti to a 1660. Why? Because there was also no 5500 XT available. Yeah, so after that, we bought all the parts. At the quote, we had a 2GB SSD, but a 2GB hard drive. But since there's no stock also, but since it's out of stock also, we opted to just get 1 terabyte and upgrade down the line. Now the big question was, if I was going to get a Gen 4 SSD. We didn't opt to get one because number one, it's way out of budget, and then number two, it's just easy to update the current SSD that he has, which is an NVMe Gen 3. So we went home and we built the PC with the help of a friend, because I am not sure of how to build through the Cooler Master PSU. And yeah, so the build is finished. We built this a month ago, and I think the prices skyrocketed already. So the lesson learned here is, if you're going to build your own PC right now, be sure to check the prices, because some of the prices are really high and are overpriced. The challenge here was the budgeting and the getting of the parts, or acquiring the right parts for your PC, because I'm sure that if you have your money already and you'll be going to the shops in Gilmore, the problem is the availability of the desired product that you really want. Some shops will offer it and the others won't, while other shops will not give you the item if it is not partnered or bundled with other items. So make sure that if you will be buying bundled items, make sure that it's you have an idea regarding compatibility, and if you're buying other parts outside of that shop, you'll also need to think about the warranty. So is it safe to buy in online shops? Yes and no. Number one, yes, is because it's easier, and some of the retailers there are legit. No, in a sense of maybe, sorry, because some I've heard some stories regarding warranties or items that needs to be replaced. So you'll just have to be careful on products that you will buy online. I have known people who've already built their own PCs by online, and after a few months there's no problem. But I've also heard some that they had encountered problems. So with that, I guess the takeaway or the key lesson here is, again, check your budget, know know what you are building, and why are you building that PC. If it's for gaming, for work, or for anything, for streaming, because it really depends on the use case. So yeah, if you have any questions or concerns or any comments, you can put it down below. And then yeah, a like, subscribe, a comment, a share would be helpful. So thank you for staying with me in this first video. Yeah, thank you. Kita-kits.